Alright everyone, welcome back. How you all doing? Hopefully everything's going right by you all. Because right now, my voice, or my throat for that matter, is sore as heck. And my voice is a little messed up if you couldn't tell. But I hope you all can bear with that, because we're going to continue on with the magical story of Umineko. I gotta say though, I am loving the character development of Beato right now. And you'll see what I mean as the story progresses on. So if anything, hope you all continue to enjoy. Thank you all for the love and support. Let's get to it. Alright everyone, welcome back. The epitaph was going to be carried out in its complete form, including the ninth twilight, and none will be left alive. I'm really starting to lose the plot. For some reason, Auntie Ava's half-insane cries and appearance actually made me cool down. Crestfallen and exhausted, I flopped onto the sofa, and plunked my feet on top of the table. Maybe all of these murders have paralyzed my heart. Instead of fright, the stronger emotion I'm feeling is one of complete confusion. Dad and Kitty have died, and starting with the servants, people have been killed off one by one. And at one hell of a pace too. I don't know what time the first murder started, but I'd say we're probably being killed at a rate of about one person an hour. We believe that the boat will come for us around 9 tomorrow. There's still a full 12 hours until then. How many more sacrifices to the witch would there have to be for us to survive? With the 4 of us, if one goes each hour, we won't last any longer than 4 hours. It's not clear anymore if we'll even last until midnight tonight. Yesterday after lunch, we came into this parlor. At about the time that the discussion had turned into the black tea that Auntie Rosa said she brought, we kids had started talking about going to take a walk. Maria was fooling around. Didn't Shannon-chan bring us some cookies? She said that Kumasawa-san had baked them or something. I'd probably have laughed my... Excuse me, guys? I'd probably have laughed my ass off if there hadn't been actually been a cooked mackerel, one mixed in with them. That's right, I'll never hear Kumasawa-bachan's mackerel jokes again, will I? Oh yeah, if I only remember stuff about Kumasawa-bachan, then it wouldn't be fair to everyone else. Why did Dad and Kirei-san even go outside? It's not like we die from being without food for a day. So why did Gluttony get a hold of them to make them go to get food? I'll bet it was my fearless dad who started complaining about being hungry. Kirei-san, you were supposed to be the brakes for my reckless dad. Why did you stop him? And what about your daughter, Ange? She's only 6 years old. You weren't thinking of entrusting her to me, were you? At this point, it's doubtful that even I will be able to leave this island alive.
やめなさい。こんな時に争ってどうするんですか。ジェシカさん、やめなさい。
Some kind of commotion was interrupting my thoughts. I looked up to see what it was and saw that Jessica and Auntie Ava had started fighting each other at some point. No, maybe I should say that Jessica was grabbing at Auntie Ava.
Eva おばさんが父さんたちを殺したんだ。他に説明がつかない。何をバカなことを。
Well, Jessica ain't completely wrong. It's a part of Ava that killed them.
あんたのお父さんたちなんか知るわけないでしょ。ゲストハウスの1階にいたのは誰だよ。エヴァおばさんだ。1階のロビーには父さんと母さんと、そしてエヴァおばさんがいた。生き残ったのは誰だ。エヴァおばさんだけだ。どうして。あんたが犯人だからに決まってるじゃないか。父さんと母さんを殺して外へ運び出して白々しく鍵を閉めて魔女の仕業なんかを装いやがったんだ。じゃあジョージはどうしていなくなったのよ。1階には降りてきてないのよ。じゃあ2階でいなくなったっていうの。2階には誰がいたのよ。あなたたちがいたんじゃない。あなたは知ってたんでしょ。ジョージがこっそりゲストハウスを抜け出すのを。それを自分は何も知らないような顔を抜け抜けと。あんたがジョージを止めててくれれば、ジョージは
やめなさいというのに、ジェシカさんはずっといとこ部屋にいました。そしてエヴァさんもずっと1階のロビーにいました。 そして二人とも何も悪くない。ただ家族を失って悲しいだけなんです。犯人なんか誰もいない。どこにもいない。ただただ魔女のせいなだけなんです。だからお二人で憎み合うのはやめなさい。
The witch's fault, is it? I wonder if that's a good way to mediate things for now. Yes, I finally understand the meaning of all the doors and windows having been locked from the inside when 3 people evaporated from the guest house. This is what they were after, making us think the culprit was inside and causing this ugly mutual hatred. Had to be the culprit's, the witch's goal. But in that case, how had the culprit locked it from the outside? It's certainly true that the master key had been stolen when Dad's group was attacked, but the doors and windows to the guest house had been constructed so that you couldn't lock them from the outside no matter how hard you tried. So that master key shouldn't mean anything for the guest house's locked room. Jessica and Auntie Ava were turning their sadness at losing their blood relatives into anger at the person in front of them. Dr. Nanjo was trying to step between them, and I sat haphazardly on a sofa staring up at the ceiling, thinking about things that didn't even matter anymore with a worn-out expression. I just couldn't believe that this was the same parlor that had been so warm and pleasant midday yesterday, for just a short time before the typhoon hit. Did she just shoot? Did she just fire her shotgun? I hope she didn't kill Jessica. The sudden sound of a gunshot shook me out of my half-asleep trance. Smoke was rising out of the barrel of the gun Auntie Ava held. Jessica was rolling around the floor, covering both her eyes. Auntie Ava and Dr. Nanjo were looking down at her, shocked.
大丈夫ですか、ジェシカさん。ジェシカさん。
私のせいじゃないわよ。あんたがよせっていうのに突っかかってくるから。
You shot her?
おいおい、どうしたってんだ。何事なんだ。
Jessica had grabbed at Auntie Ava and it had turned into a scuffle. They had then started fighting over the gun Auntie Ava had been holding, and some movement or other caused the trigger to be pulled. I didn't know how the details about whether the bullet had grazed her or whether she had been burned by the discharge. Whatever the case, Jessica was covering both of her eyes, screaming in pain and rolling around the floor.
大丈夫、落ち着いて。大した怪我ではありませんぞ。気をしっかり。
I thought Ava shot her in the face. I was like, wait, what?
目が痛い。痛い。見えない。見えない。
Dr. Nanjo lent Jessica his shoulder, saying that he would tend to her in the servant room. The servant room in this mansion apparently had a bed and a first aid kit, and was able to function as an infirmary. Oh, those two are gonna die, huh?
父さんと母さんの仇殺してやる。殺してやる。私じゃないわよ。私じゃない。
ジェシカさん、傷に触りますから、それ以上騒がないで。さあ、使用人室に行きましょう。
Jessica still continued to curse Auntie Ava as her parents' murderer. It seemed that Auntie Ava couldn't conceal her shock at the fact that she had pulled the trigger even if it had been an accident.
私のせいじゃないわよ。あの子が掴みかかってきたからこんなことに。私は殺してなんかないわよ。それよりジョージは誰が殺したの？
Wow, you don't want to know that you're the one who killed him technically.
そうよ。ジョージは誰が殺したのよ。ジョージ。ジョージ。私は悪くない。私は悪くない。
待てよ、エヴァおばさん。一人になるな。
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna die tonight. I didn't know whether it was because Auntie Ava couldn't stand her mistake, or whether it was because she had lost herself to anger at the person who had killed her only son, or whether it was both of those all mixed together. In any case, she ran out into the corridor yelling fearful and shouting. I was also worried about Jessica's condition, but anyway, right then, I couldn't leave Auntie Ava alone. Why would she go off on her own in this mansion of all places? Is she suicidal? Dr. Nanja took Jessica towards the servant room. I chased after Auntie Ava, dashing into the depths of the mansion. After setting Jessica on the servant room bed, Nandra told her several times not to rub her eyes and examine the affected area. The barrel had probably been near her eyes. There was a possibility that the flames from the discharge had damaged her corneas. There was no threat to her life, but it would probably be necessary to have a suitable doctor look at her as soon as humanly possible. Nandra applied emergency first aid kit, covering the affected area with gauze and wrapping it with a bandage. As a result, Jessica completely lost her field of vision.
いいですかな。傷が痛んだりうずいたりするでしょうが、絶対にかいたり揉んだりしてはなりませんぞ。明日になったらすぐに眼科の先生のところへ行きましょう。
あいつめ、本当は私を殺すつもりだったんだ。ほんのちょっと角度が悪かったら今頃殺されてた。絶対にあいつを警察へ突き出してやる。
エヴァさんはそんなことはしませんぞ。あれは事故です。
事故なもんか。あいつが父さんと母さんを殺したんだ。この島には19人目も魔女もいるわけがない。あいつが全ての犯人なんだ。ゲストハウスの1階にはあいつだけがいた。父さんと母さんを殺し、それを見てしまったジョージ兄さんも口封じに殺したに違いない。じいさまや使用人の人たちだってそうさ。きっとあいつは夕べの親族会議の途中でこっそり抜け出し、みんなを殺したに違いない。
Okay, so your first theory about her killing George makes no sense. That's her son.
もしそうならば、警察が調べればすぐにわかることです。警察はすごいですぞ。鑑識の手にかかればわからぬことなどありません。私たちは誰かを疑ったり恨んだりする必要などないのです。すべて警察が解決してくれます。だからジェシカさんは今は体を休め、目を楽にすることに専念するのです。あまり眉間にシワを寄せては目にはもちろん美容にもよくありませんぞ。
Indeed, when Jessica had grown agitated in her verbal abuse of Ava, she had naturally started glaring and the pressure on her eyes hurt her. Jessica herself soon realized that the more she talked, the more the wound would hurt. And regardless of whether she had overcome her suspicions of Ava, she regained her composure for the time being.
あいつが殺したんだ。父さんや母さん、シャノンやカノン君も。
She had heard that Kanon had been killed in the chapel. Jessica still hadn't been... Excuse me, guys. My sore throat is like messing with me. Also, it's also the reason why my voice probably sounds a bit off. Jessica still hadn't seen his face after he had died. Jessica was now less fearful about the fact that she might go blind, and more frightened that the police would carry Kanon's corpse away while she still couldn't see, and that she would have to say her final farewell without being able to see his face. Her anger at the culprit and her sadness at the death of the person she had liked, those mixed emotions provoked her tear ducts. But right now, tears were actually painful for her, so she wasn't even permitted to leisurely remember the late Kanon's face. Jessica could do nothing but sit on the bed and let her head droop, withstanding the pain.
さて、今度はエヴァさんの方が心配です。気に病まれていなければいいのですが。
Letting out a small sigh of relief that Jessica had calmed down for the time being, He stuck his head out into the hallway to look for any sign of the others coming back. Uh-oh. They met. Eyes. Nanjo, unable to understand who this person was bewildered for an instant.
視力を失った人間って、反魔法力も、対魔法抵抗力もゼロになるんですって。つまり、今のあんたはアイソレーテッドポーン。意味がわかるかしら？
なんですと？
There was no possible way that Nanjo could have understood who the person in front of him was. And there was certainly no possible way that he could ever have understood what she had just said.
南條先生、どうしたんです？
Unable to see, Jessica couldn't tell what was going on except by whatever voice she heard. But since she had heard Nanjo say something with an uneasy tone, she tightened up thinking that something bad might have happened.
やめてくれ！殺さないでくれ！わしには病弱の孫がおる！ここでは死ねんのだ！頼む！見逃してくれ！
南條先生！南條先生！
Jessica couldn't do anything except call out from the bed. Judging by the tone of his voice, Nanjo was in the corridor being confronted by someone, and he was scared. There was no doubt that at this very moment, his life was being threatened.
よせ！やめろ！
I think that's the first time I ever heard him really yell out too.
第9の晩に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。
The witch pointed the end of her goat staff at Nanjo. Even though he didn't know what she was planning to do, Nanjo imagined that she must be trying to take his life.
南條先生！南條先生！そこに誰がいるんだよ！返事をしろよ！
やめてくれ！
A sharp sound echoed. And tapered to a point just as sharp, the elongated tip of the golden staff was stuck straight into Nanjo's forehead. Jessica, who only had her ears to help her try to grasp what was happening, had no clue what was going on. But even so, she was able to realize that with that sound, Nanjo had died. And the person who had killed him was now in the corridor right in front of the servant room. Furthermore, since she couldn't see, she wouldn't even be able to run away, much less resist. Upon discovering that she was in a life or death situation, caught like a rat in a trap, Jessica felt her blood run cold.
ああ、ジェシカ。かわいそうにね。目を怪我しちゃったのね。なら、あなたは逃げることもできないわね。今から南條の死体でたっぷり遊ぶわ。それに飽きたら、次はあなたを殺してたっぷり遊んであげる。いいえ、せっかく目が見えないんだもの。殺してからだけじゃない。殺す前にもたっぷり遊んであげるわね。そこでしばらく震えながら待ってなさいね。南條の死体で私がどんな風に遊ぶのかをたっぷり想像しながら。
Struck with fear, Jessica let out a frail scream. She really wanted to scream in a much louder voice, trying to get someone to help her, but she couldn't. When a person is faced with true fear, it clogs up their throat. Right now, Jessica could barely even breathe.
助けて！助けて！
She searched around with her hands, trying to find some way to escape. But even though she knew this room well, just being unable to see made it like a locked room of darkness. She bumped into some shelves or something, and some tins of sweets and bottles and things fell down from them, hitting her on the head. As she was now, even protecting her head to block them wasn't working out. She was becoming painfully aware of how very powerless humans become just by losing their sense of sight. Of course, she had no time to appreciate that. She crawled around as best as she could, trying to escape that place. She kept bumping into things that she didn't understand, getting hit by various falling objects. and it felt to her like the entire room was alive, bullying her and refusing to let her escape. Then, she heard footsteps from the presence in the hallway, and then a voice. The person had probably peered into the room since Jessica was making so much noise.
にぎやかね。レディーならおとなしくベッドに座って待っていなさい。令状にふさわしい素敵な真っ赤な死に装束を与えてやるんだから。あなたを見つけた人が失神してしまいそうになるくらいのね。
Just a short while ago, she had sworn that she would kill the culprit if she found them. However, she was now all too powerless. She couldn't do anything except let out feeble screams and crawl around on the floor, bumping her head into the bed and the legs of desks.
助けて！助けて！誰か助けて！父さん、母さん、バトラー！誰か来てよ！助けてよ！カノン君。
In the corridor, as the witch thought of how to toy with Nanjo's life, a single gold butterfly secretly watched that scene from the corner of the hallway. It was Beato, who had barely escaped with her life once before. The gold butterfly softly returned to human form. Its form was faint and transparent like a lace curtain. Even just the power to hold the human form had become scarce for her. Right next to her, Ronov also appeared.
ジェシカも生き残れはしないでしょう。もとより誰も生き残れはしませんが。
あやつはカノンに恋心を寄せておった。わらわはそれをもてあそんだこともある。しかしそれは魔女として恥ずべきことであった。
愛とは一なる元素。恋心はそれ以上に純粋で尊いものでございます。なぜかお嬢様はとてもそれを嫌われますが。
お師匠様は言った。魔法とは人を幸せにするためにあるとな。わらわもかつてはそれを知っていたはずだった。そしてそれを忘れた時からわらわは魔女ではなくなっていたのだ。だからわらわはバトラの対戦相手の資格を失っていたのだ。
まさかお嬢様、ジェシカを助けるおつもりですか。危険です。
分かっておる。どうせ助けても黄金鏡の扉が開けば魔女の宴の慰み者よ。しかしそれでもあやつの殺し方に比べれば数段慈悲深い。魔女の宴は恐るべき方法にて命を奪うが二度は奪わぬ。生死をもてあそばぬ。しかしあやつは違う。何度でも殺す。面白半分で殺す。そこにはわずかほどの慈悲もない。わらわはせめてジェシカをそのような残酷な運命から。
確かにそれを行うことは良き魔女として称えられることでしょう。しかし新しきベアトリーチェ様はすでにお嬢様のことを敵視なされています。もう一度姿を見られることがあったなら今度は逃れる術はありませんよ。
ジョージをシャノンに会わせた時わらわはようやくそして魔法とはどういうものなのかを。わらわは魔女だ。魔女であらねばならぬ。 そしてバトラに対戦相手だと認められ、今度こそそのための道は長く険しいかもしれない。しかし今ここでその一歩を踏み出さねば、わらわは魔女を名乗れぬのだ。
お気持ちはわかりますが、どうやってお救いになるつもりです？今のお嬢様の身に使える魔法は多くありません。シャノンを蘇らせる時ですら、ジョージの力を借りたではありませんか。
だからこそ、ジェシカだけは救えるかもしれぬのだ。今あやつは、カノンに助けを求めている。その思いの力を借りれば、わらわの魔力にてもう一度、冥府の扉を叩けるかもしれない。
叩けはするでしょう。しかし、魔力を使い切ります。新しきベアトリーチェ様にもし見つかったら、本当に逃れる術はありませんよ。私はすでにお嬢様の執事ではありません。いざという時、お助けすることはできませんので、ご了承を。
Oh wow, sorry guys. Ooh, my throat is like, I was gonna say, I'm calling it now. Battler's gonna assist.
承知しておるわ。わらわはこれまで数えることもできぬほどの命をもてあそび、ならばその罪は同じ数だけの命を救うことでしかあがなえぬのかもしれん。もとよりわらわに失うものなどないわ。名も魔力も引き継ぎ、今や魔女とも認められぬただの黄金の蝶よ。
バトラ様はどうなさるのですか？ゲームの途中です。彼はお嬢様がお戻りになるまで待つとおっしゃいました。ここで果てるようなことがあっても良いのですか？お嬢様にはバトラ様の向かいの席に戻る義務があるのですよ。
だからこそだ。わらわにしか救えぬ命があるならば、わらわはそれを救う。そして魔女と認められるぞ。わらわは魔女にならねばならぬのだ。これが試練であるならば、これまでの悪行に見合わぬ幼稚なものよ。さあ、姿を消せ、ロノウ。かつて黄金の魔女と呼ばれた一匹の蝶の最後となるかもしれぬ魔法を見るがいい。
かしこまりました。黄金の魔女の名に恥じぬ魔法、拝見させてもらいます。願わくばそれが最後の魔法とならぬこと。
行け、我が友よ。もしインクが足りるなら、我が愚かなる生涯を記して、同じ道を歩もうとする愚か者に手渡せ。さらばだ、ロノウ。
どこにいるの？どこにいるの？